Right, good morning. We're back. For any of you wondering why I'm back, where have I been? Me and my wife, or mainly my wife, had a baby 2 weeks ago. So I've had 2 weeks off on paternity leave, which has been absolutely incredible. We've got a beautiful baby girl, Eloise. And yeah, first morning back today on the farm. I've not been out of bed before probably 8:30 for the last 2.5 weeks. So 4 AM this morning was different. As you can see, we got some heifers in the yard here. It was going to be the first day of serving heifers. Yesterday, Rob and Abby put all the K markers, so like the bulling guides, on the back of them. You can see here on the back of the cow the little white patches. So whenever these guys are bulling, when a cow jumps on the back, it'll break like a little pod inside, and you'll see like red ink. So we went and brought them in this morning so they can have a bit of feed on the yard here. So there's some maize silage in the trailers here for them. And it would appear none of them are bulling, or not bulling enough yet to break the pods. So I'll have to wait till tomorrow. When a heifer, is he bulling? So we'll leave them in the yard here for a bit so we can sort of keep a bit of an eye on them as well. See if anything is up to mischief. For anyone that is having a baby anytime soon, I know it's easier for people in my position as an employee rather than a owner operator of a farm or whatever. But from any walk of life, if you can have 2 weeks off paternity leave, well, you can have as much time as you can off, do it, because the last 2 weeks have just been amazing. It has gone so fast. I've never had 2 weeks go so fast in my life. It's dark in here, isn't it? And I can't believe how much Eloise has changed in 2 weeks. It is just incredible, and I'm very, very grateful that I could have the time off to be at home with her and Abby. Well, yeah, just see her all day, every day. It's been really good. Bit weird not being at home now with her. Such is life. It was an interesting day when she arrived. I milked the cows here in the morning, and then Abby texted me saying, "Oh, I'm having contractions every 2 minutes." And I thought, well, crikey, we better get to hospital. Get to hospital for like 10 o'clock, and by 1 o'clock, baby's born. So that was pretty rapid, really, especially for the first one. But anyway, mum and baby are both doing really, really well. She's just been into Exeter Hospital with her this morning. They wanted to check to see if she had a tongue tie, but she hasn't, so she's all good. She's been discharged by the midwife on Wednesday as well, so all good in the hood. And she actually sleeps. Not quite at the right time. She's a bit of a night owl. Doesn't really settle down till sort of 11 o'clock at night, or a bit later some nights, but she does then do some solid sleeping, which has been really nice. Something else we've done this morning is let 20 more of these calves out into the big weaned pen. So these guys are not on milk anymore. So there was 10 in this bay and 10 in that bay. Just taking out the divisional bales, let them all together. So they're all now getting acquainted. And they're actually being a bit of silage out the front there for too long. I don't know if you can see down along there, the big gap there. I'm going to chuck out some mix for them in a minute. Rob's changed it ever so slightly this year with the feeding. So Abby's not here today anyway, but usually there'd be 3 of us here in the morning. One would scrape, one would feed, and one would milk, and then someone would catch up in the parlour. But just going to change it slightly so that we can feed any time, because we only feed once a day. So we're going to do a couple loads in a minute and feed the cows. They've been milked this morning back in the shed just to mop up whatever's left. There'll still be a bit of food on the floor for them, I'm sure. Rob said the clutch is going in that tractor, so, and he's looking at. You can see here the cows still got a bit of food in front of them. So before too long, we'll do a couple of mixes and fill it all back up. You want them to eat it really before you start putting any fresh stuff down, but we'll do a couple of mixes. We have to do 2 mixes to get enough feed out for them during the day. But we do only have to do that once a day. It's quite a nice way of doing it, I think. Drain's been cleaned out this morning. That was starting to fill up with a bit of stuff. And then along here, you see there's no food here at all. This is where the red group are currently residing overnight. See, there's a gate there across a couple of cubicles that goes across the passageway there. There's another gate over there. Then this little L-shaped bit here, so the reds can feed. They've got a water trough. It just keeps them separate. They're currently out by day still. If you can see through the gap there's a field up there. So they're up on the hill, hanging out up there. The milk tank has just been this morning. I reckon we've broken 19,000 litres on this pickup. 19,371 litres. That is some going. I need to go and do some maths to tell you how much that is per cow. Sorry about the flickering light. In fact, I can turn that off. Better, isn't it? Right, there were 360 cows exactly going through the parlour, but 6 of them are out on buckets, sort of the fresh ones. So let's call that 354, so 19,371 litres. Divide that by 2 because that's 2 days worth of milk. 9685, divide that by 354, I said, didn't I? 27.36 litres per cow. That's not bad. So also, whilst I've been away, I said before about these tanks needing replacing. You can see that one's leaking pretty bad at the moment. Well, this turned up. This big 10,000 litre tank. It's not been plumbed in yet. That is going to be a job for next week. But it's all in place, ready. And those 2 metal tanks above the dairy there will be retired. I guess we'll have to plumb it in along here somewhere. There's a pump in the ceiling up there. That one there. It's got to come down, probably put it on the floor beside this tank somewhere. And plumb that in. That'll be a next week job. I don't think it's too busy today. I think other than doing a bit of feeding in a minute. We're sort of caught up. Obviously it was going to be exciting to serve a few heifers, but they've decided they're not too randy today. Last night was probably the worst bit of weather we've had in a long time here. So Rich said they've made a bit of a mess here in the field they've been in. Need to go move the fence for them. I think Rich will do that after breakfast. But they can stand on this yard. Well, they could stay there right up until milking if they wanted to, but probably won't be too good for their feet, so we'll let them clear up as much of this as they want to in the next few hours, and then once the fence is done they can stroll back to the field if they want to. It's just getting them used to coming in and see this, because they wouldn't have seen feed trailers for a little while. Well, not since they were calves in that shed this time last year. Right, let's open a new silage pen.
Husband's gone off the wheels, what's he doing?
Yes.
Something like that?
Something like that.
There it goes.
That was exactly how it went.
Look down.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, go on. I didn't spend that.
Right, I've just loaded up the grass into the first mix. I'll somehow try and sneak some maize off the end of this pit. It was beautifully clean, the face. I was amazed because obviously the water pools there a bit. Right on the corner we struggled to sheet it down brilliantly, but what we did seems to have worked really well. That window steamed out. Anyway, we are making up a mix here. First of 2 loads. Both loads will be identical, but 3.5 tonne of grass, 2.5 tonne of first cut, a tonne of second cut, and then make it up to 8 tonne of maize, so 4.5 tonnes of maize, or thereabouts. Once you get a couple grams deep into here, it's much easier, but I want to take the front of the face away here so the cows don't try and get in it when they're coming around to the parlour tonight. Luckily the Manitou is pretty manoeuvrable, we can get around. And I don't know if I said earlier, what we're going to do is feed the weaned calves a little bit of this first load. And then the second load, the stuff that Rob picked up from in front of the red cows this morning, we'll chuck in the second load and mix that back into the main herd can have it. The reds will get a fresh bit of grub that way as well. Weather's just turned a little bit nasty the last 24 hours, but after the weekend. It's coming in cold and frosty and nice by all accounts. I couldn't really decide where to park the wagon, because wherever you park it, you've got to take something from each of the 3 pits. You're doing a lot of travelling. So what we'll do is we'll eat this front of this maize pit back far enough so that we can put electric wire across the front. And that'll stop the cows trying to get at it tonight. Be careful, because there's a gully there. Stick a tine into. Right, the weather's turned on us. Just got the second load full. The door doesn't quite seal. Always like to chuck a little bit out, like doing there, which is odd. I've tried my best to force this back towards the end of the panel, but I haven't used enough to make it do that. By the time that that's filled twice tomorrow, that'll be another grab width back, and that'll be better. But we're gonna have to put a battery and fence along there for the cows this afternoon, I think. Anyway, I'm gonna tidy up this little bit here on the floor where the wagon splits out. Turn off the PTO, otherwise it just keeps curming out. Some of that went in. I thought about this intelligently. I'm gonna chuck this on top of the last shear ground of maize, turn the wagon off, so it didn't come straight back out. This is fantastic weather for ducks. I'm supposed to be playing golf tomorrow morning. I'm going to need waders and webbed feet, I reckon, at this rate. Let's chuck this out and then some calves to bed up. A couple of things to do. Right, I've left a big lump on the end there because there's a couple of cows that don't lock their heads in. And they feed underneath the bungees. So I've made sure I've done that. I'm just going to open up some doors here for the cows. They can come back out in the loafing yard. So we've just fed out 16 tons of grass. Well, not grass, of TMR I should say. So that'll keep the cows happy now until this time tomorrow. Oh, and then girlies, you can come out. It's funny, they don't seem too bothered about coming to feed. But then they're never really hungry. They had a bit of food left this morning. It's always a bit of a job to feed them perfectly. Some days they'll eat more than others, especially if it's colder. Quite muggy this morning. We are supposed to get a frost. Give them this yard so they can come out and bull with each other or drink if they want to. There are drinkers in the shed as well. There's 3 big high volume ones there. There's also a heifer lied in the passageway. 2 heifers lied in the passageway. Hey! Well, you've got to brush their teeth though. Covered in muck. Right, cows are all fed and happy. If you can see there, Juno's just going off to do the Lord's work, pushing in. What a guy. That'll keep them happy till lunchtime tomorrow. It's raining cats and dogs, so I'm going home for my dinner. Be back for milking later on. What are you making for tea, Abs?
Pork chops. Well, I'm not making the pork chops.
Pork chops.
Took it out of the freezer.
Teddies. Little baby as well. We're not having you for dinner, are we?
Teaching her how to cook.
Yeah, that's it. We're getting her trained up. I say we're getting her trained up. Abby's getting her trained up. Yeah, here she is. Eloise. Absolutely loving life. Currently wide awake. So a good time to show everyone. She definitely prefers Abby. When I pick her up, she's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And it's amazing how sensitive her eyes are to the lights. Really, if I walk in the kitchen under one of the spotlights, her eyes like blink. Yeah, you got it. Keep you out of the light, shall we? Yeah, here she is. Happy as Larry. Happy as Larry. Oh, that's a bit bright, isn't it? So far, so good, Mum?
So far, so good.
Went for a little tongue tie appointment this morning, didn't you?
Yeah. Phoniacs doesn't have one.
You haven't got a tongue tie, so that was a good trip into Exeter. Yeah, I spend the rest of my night curled up on the sofa with her. Absolutely bliss. Could not want anything else. Anyway, thank you for watching. We are back with the videos, hopefully regularly. And yeah, like and subscribe. We will see you in another one very soon. Cheerio.